Hi guys, and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to take a look at the long awaited, by myself, Class 33 021 Eastleigh in Royal Mail Red by Heljan. I've been waiting for this loco for a while now. This one is in the Royal Mail Red. This is the fictitious livery to the Class 33s. It never carried it, any Class 33 never carried it, I should say, in revenue earning service. This livery was applied in preservation to this very loco, 021, and it's the only Class 33 to have carried this livery. As you can see, it really does suit the 33. Obviously I'm a bit of a fan of Res and the Royal Mail trains, so I've always liked the livery, but the 33, when you put a good livery on my favourite class of loco, I was just like, wow. This loco is actually currently preserved as well, once COVID's all out the way. If you do want to go and see this loco at the Churnut Valley Railway, you can do. It was repainted back into this livery last year. I was there. I've posted some videos of it on my channel. If I'll put a link above if anyone wants to check that out. Yeah, it was painted and it looks just like this today. So this is the latest edition from Heljan. This is a ever so slightly retooled variation of the Class 33. The 33, this one has the centre headlamp fitted. Okay, so 33021. Why post office red? Well, this locomotive, as built, was painted into BR green. Then it went into BR blue, and it actually spent all its working life thereafter in BR blue. And then the locomotive was entered preservation, and between the years of 1997 and 2002 it was actually painted into this Royal Mail red because its owners worked for the Royal Mail. And then after this she went on to spot hire with Fraggins Net. If any of you can remember that, it's a black livery. And she worked on the main line hauling rail tours and stock moves, and then she carried this livery. Then she ended up at the Churnut Valley Railway, the CVR, in Staffordshire, and from 2015 she underwent body repairs and an overhaul, and then last year she was turned out for the Diesel Gala, which I was in attendance, and there is a video on my channel which I will link above. Please check it out. And this loco actually carries this livery today, so you can go and see it in this livery. She looks absolutely splendid. Post office red. I don't know why the locos, well, obviously they never worked for Res, but they really do suit this livery. So I'll give you a quick look. Obviously we've got the depot plaque on the cab door, and then Eastleigh nameplates. Now these plates, if I zoom in, aren't they're just painted. They're painted on the side. They're not etched, but you can buy the plates. They don't come with the loco. They're not in the box, which is a bit of a shame because Dapple are actually including them in the box, but would be so easy to stick them on should you wish. The 33s were a very plain loco, really. They were very plain but simple and tidy, I always thought. You can see the silver BR arrow. That would obviously be a plate as well under its running number. Obviously that's just painted on the side. You could stick one on. You've got the metal handrail around the cab end, and then you've got the yellow front. I don't believe that to be the right yellow. I don't know how well the video is picking it up, but in real life it is definitely an off shade of yellow compared to all the other 33s I've got and other locos. It just does not sit right, so I think Heljan have messed up, but I'm not entirely sure here. You can obviously see the cab door, which is painted black, and then you've got the orange cantrail stripe around the cab front and along the body side. On the roof, slightly different to other 33s that Heljan have produced before it. It is a slight matte gloss. I will compare these side by side with the other locos because I've got 4 Class 33s. I will compare them with the other subclasses and the earlier releases just so you can compare. But the loco does look spot on. It really does reproduce the look and the feel of the Class 33. One of my favourite, well, it is my favourite class of locomotive. Just a quick point as well, you do get the snow ploughs in the box with some other detailing. It is underneath the box. You may be wondering why I'm not going to tear open and rip all the goodies out of the bag. Well, that's because this loco does have to go back to Rails of Sheffield because it is faulty. I'm not going to talk about that too much now because I don't want that to set a bit of a tone through the video, thinking, oh, this loco's no good, because it really is. I've just got a bit of a bad one. Nothing major. It runs really well actually. It's just the one light at the one end doesn't work. But I will go into this later on in the video. Another thing I'd like to mention is look at this grill, the bottom of the grill to be exact. It's not straight and it's slightly pushed in, so obviously this has seen some damage, whether it be in the factory, might have been in transit, I'm not sure. It's a bit of a shame because as you zoom out, once you've noticed it, look at that, it does stick out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? But this loco is going back, like I say, so let's crack on with the video. Okay, so here's a look at the loco with the body taken off. It is an absolute nightmare to try and get the body off this. It's not screwed on. It's 4 clips, and you can see the clips. There's one there, and then the other one is there, and then there's 2 on the opposite side. Very standard system, but the body is so tight. Even with trying to use your nail, trying to get underneath the body to pull it away. Oh, it took me about 15-20 minutes. This has been the hardest loco to get the body off. So I'm quite reluctant to put the body back on, obviously because I had to DCC it. So while we've got the body off, as you can see, it's a big central motor. Obviously you come down to your gearboxes on the bogies, and then you come away to your bogies. The wiring is obviously from the pickups, which sends it to the motors. Now the headlight system is, I like the way Heljan do the headlight system. Yeah, sorry, the headlight is only one centre headlight. You've got no side lights or the the number blind that you can see on the cab. But if I just try and carefully pop the body on, I'm not going to pop it on fully because it's a nightmare to get it off. Now, if I can try and cause a bit of a shade, you can see that actually lights up the centre headlamp, which is obviously, this is the later version of the 33, so it had them, and then it does the 2 side lights on each side and the blind. So what that does is you get your bright headlight. It's not like LED bright white, it's more like an old style lamp, which is really realistic, and then it sends the dimmer light to the side lights and the blind. I'll quickly turn the light off, try and cause a bit more shade in here, and I'll try and show you a little bit better. Okay, so as you can see, it's a bit darker now, and if the camera focuses from that one light, it's giving off 4 lights, and you can see how much brighter the headlight is over the conventional side lights. What I'll do is I'll pull up another 33, the side of this one, without the centre headlight, and you can compare the difference. Okay, so hard to see, but this is the 33/1 in NSE. Obviously we've got the bagpipes, the jumper cables on the front, so we lose the side lights, and we don't have the centre headlamp fitted on this one because this is obviously in the as-built guise. But you can see how this one only has the 2-digit head code lit up. And then if we come round here, this is the same as the red one. It's a 33/0. This is 033, and you've got 33 in the number blinds, and you've got the 2 side lights. You don't have the headlights. So if I do a quick switcheroo, you can see the difference. Now, one thing, if you are running this in low light conditions. It is, I don't know how well the video is picking it up, but these side lights, all they seem to be lighting up are the footsteps underneath. Obviously the 33 Type 1 doesn't have them, but even if I pull the camera away, you can see the silver of the steps being lit up. On the old one, you don't get that problem. I've never had that problem, but even while it's been running, as soon as you turn the camera, it's quite obvious. But I'll put the lights back on and then we can have a quick compare of all three. Okay, so we've got all three side by side now. Obviously the one on the far right is actually the oldest of the Heljan releases. Then they came along and released the 33 Type 1. This was the second release of that they did with the bagpipes, and then this is the 33/0, the latest version with the centre head code. They have done the bagpipes with the centre code headlight as well, but comparing them, there's not much between them actually, obviously bar the price. We'll have a quick look at the roof. The roof is definitely more matte gloss, compared to the old one. You can see the way it shines, and the grey of the exhaust is actually slightly lighter on the new one. They've still not mastered the grills, sadly. If I come in here, excuse the slight bit of damage on mine, that's how it left the factory at the bottom, but they aren't like the way Hornby and like on the Class 67s, that you've got the see-through grills with the actual you can see, like on the 67 they've put the engine behind. These are just moulded plastic and you can't see through them at all. They look slightly cheap, and with the other level of detail on this model, I think that is a slight letdown. Otherwise there is very little to differentiate, if I can get my words out, sorry, them between the two. They still look just as good as each other. Visually I'm struggling to tell the difference between which one's the newer and which one's the later release. The Eastleigh model, the one in the red, the yellow cab end is actually a slightly different shade of yellow, and I think it's too light personally. If we come down and have a look, now I know it's hard to see with the one on the right because it's so heavily weathered, but you can sort of see that the Eastleigh is slightly yellower. I know this was a fictitious livery and it never carried this livery in service. This is a preservation livery, and I know it upset a fair few people, but last year this loco that lives on the Churnut Valley Railway, they decided to put it back into Eastleigh. I think this was first painted in this livery in the early 2000s, then it went back into BR blue but with yellow cabs. So it was like a funny version of BR large logo for a 33, but it never had the large logos. And then no, sorry, that was no, it was this one. Sorry, I've not done my research, I'm doing this solely from memory. And then last year they painted it back into Royal Mail red. This isn't Res livery. Some people get confused and think this loco never worked for Res. It never carried Res logos, never carried the Res livery, but as you can see they make three cracking locos and they do look absolutely gorgeous. Another thing about these locos is they just run so well, they are so smooth. Even at slow speed, that was on DCC, that was only a couple of speed steps out of 28, and obviously you could see how smooth and well that pulled away. But you may be wondering why the body is not actually pushed down properly and clipped in place. Well, that's because this loco has to go back. Only the one light at the one end works. This cab end doesn't have any lights. Now it's one single bulb, like I've mentioned, that does all the 4 different lights on the cab. I've checked the wiring, checked the little connector. If we pull the body off, I'll try and show you. Obviously you can see the cab light still lit at the other end. If I change the direction, it doesn't light up this end. Hopefully that's going to focus. It's focusing on the wrong thing. There we go. You can obviously see the little connectors if we look here. And then you've got the wires. Obviously your bulb's there. This is a brand new loco. I'm not willing to start taking things apart. I've paid £126 for this loco. It's a lot of money. Brand new. Pre-ordered it. It's just come straight through the letterbox this morning. Well, if it came through the letterbox, that's probably why it's not working. But sadly it's going to go back to Rails of Sheffield. I've rung them up. They've been very good. They said post it back and they're going to send me one that works. So I'm not going to pop the body back on because it was an absolute nightmare to get it off, and it's not worth knowing that I've got to take the chip back out and I've got to post it back. It's not worth me putting the body back on just to run it. So that's why the body's only sitting on like this. I'll get a couple of running shots of the loco running like that. I know it doesn't look great, but I'm just trying to show off the loco. It's a big shame that it's got to go back. I've been waiting for this loco. As soon as I saw that it was due to be released, I had it on pre-order straight away. But I've got another Class 33 somewhere in Dutch livery, so I've got 4 33s. So I think I've got enough 33s to keep me going until I get this one back, and then I'll do a full running video for you guys. So let's get on with some running shots. Normally I'd fill this video full of running shots, but because the loco's got to go back, I can't get too many. But what does this loco run like? Well, it runs really, really well. These locos are incredibly powerful. They'll pull almost anything you want them to. They are so smooth, even at creep, they creep really well. At the slow speed, they're so realistic, and these things have got to be the fastest locos you could probably get for your layout. They're as fast as the old Hornby 040s. Crank one of these up, whether you're on analog or DCC, crank these up to full and these things absolutely go tearing around your layout. They're not prototypical top speeds. I know these things did used to run at 85 mile an hour in real life, but these things they're outrunning the HSTs. But it's a bit of fun. Obviously I don't run mine. I run mine quite slow actually, because I think it looks more realistic. But even all my other 33s never had a problem. Mechanically they are sound. They're simple, but they're straightforward. They don't make funny noises. They'll pull anything you want them to. They don't stutter over points or anything. So a big well done to Heljan. They've not changed the motor or the gearing on this loco. They've only retooled the body. So don't fix something that's not broken. If you don't own a Class 33 or anything by Heljan, I highly recommend that you do, because I've got the Class 26, I've got the Heimek, the Class 58, and to be honest with you, Heljan are probably some of the more reliable locos in my fleet. I'm starting to turn my back on Bachmann. Heljan though, I do love them. The way they look and the way the models work is second to none.